interface. So we are starting with Ethereum, but we have plans to extend it to other blockchains. So this is being built from the scratch, having a blockchain agnostic approach. So we know that like we could move to a different blockchain and still keeping most of the functionalities or all the functionalities. Yeah, this is this application is still like in the very beginning. We're still running a very pre-alpha stage, but yeah, we are defining a roadmap and all these functionalities that we want to implement on top of. This is the tech stack that we are using. This is more technical. We are using React Native and JavaScript ES6. Why React Native? Is because you can build it for different platforms using the same code base, and in a very familiar for a lot of people, a very popular language that's JavaScript. And React Native runs as a bridge with the native components. So you write JavaScript and integrates with the native components of the application, of the system. So if you're using iOS, it's running native components of iOS. If you're running Android, it's running native components of Android. So yeah, this way we can do a much faster development because you have the same code base for both, and you can go testing for one another very easily, build deploy to one another very easy. Of course, there is also Apple Store, for example, has a timeline for improvement much more restricted and long than Android, but the development and deployment will be a very similar way. Also, we are using TypeScript for the backend that also compiles to JavaScript. And then the two backbones now, there's IPFS for the file system and storing, and that are doing all this decentralization for storage. That is pretty much the mesh network would be built on top of the IPFS, and Ethereum as the blockchain. But as I said, it's a blockchain agnostic. So if in the future we want to introduce a different blockchain and like Bitcoin over Rootstock or any other, we could just blockchain, and the application should keep the same functionalities. These are some screenshots. That's not how it's looking now, but it is how it's supposed to be looking in the final product. You can see application. It's very simple and familiar. Yeah, you're gonna have the same thing as you are using Slack or using Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp, so the chat interface is very similar. You have another functionalities, the other functionalities on top of that. You have the DBVN. You can see like, yeah, it's not very clear on this line there, but the description of a nation and the reputation and the number of citizens, the type of the nation, if it's a holacracy, a dictatorship, so everything. So you can see everything there. So it's a UI built like to be familiar to everyone. It should be something that people will adopt because it's simple. They don't have to learn anything new. Oh, it's pretty much, no one can see there. No, these are the nations. These are pretty much the nation stuff related. I don't think it's very clear. The first,
it's clear on the screen. It's just the projection.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but it's the one you have for the nation management and creation. So you have to register a nation, code of law, constitution, contract, and entities. So you can manage this on this interface. In the list of nations, you can see a brief summary of the nations that we have. This example, we have like Mordor and BitNation. Mordor doesn't have a good reputation. BitNation has. Guess why? And then
it's okay.
and then if you click on one of the nations in this list, you can just go there and see more information about the nation. And yeah, you could navigate through all the nations and choose a seller on eBay or stuff. So the UI should resemble UIs that people are used to, that people are familiar. So it should be something that won't have any friction for adoption. Here another screenshots. These are the chat, and as you can see, it's a chat. It's like you have the people you're talking, and a small badge with indication of how and the number of messages that you haven't read. Yeah. And in the other side, you have a small conversation. Yeah, just people talking. And this also have to work as a platform. So we could add different applications and services on top of the chat. We also have plans like maybe in the future, adaptive status. Status Messenger has a very similar goal. And they are developing chat as a platform in the blockchain. And maybe in the future, could even use the same API for both. So if you write an application to run on top of status, it could run on BitNation as well. So this intercalable, interchangeable applications. Like we have, for example, the same API for running for writing, or a similar API to writing Chrome extensions and Firefox extensions. So you could have similar API and people can at least port easily, even if it is not exactly the same, but they can port easily from other. Yeah, these are the stages of development. For now, we are targeting the MVP stage 1. That's pretty much, or we call sometimes pre-MVP. This should be very, very simple, having the basic functionalities to show. In these basic functionalities should include profile and wallet management. So it means creating profile, managing your own wallet, creating your about and your informations. This will be local stored. And all the DBVN functions. That means like create a nation, join a nation, create the code of law, and the connection with Ethereum. That's the first blockchain that will be connected. So this should be on the pre-MVP or MVP stage 1 that we're targeting. And we hope like to have this ready like in 1 month and a half or something like that. The MVP stage 2 should introduce the chat. So the chat would be like in the MVP stage 2. And also a follower system that people can follow each other. And the IPFS connection. The IPFS, there's still something that we are depending on IPFS to be implemented before move on this part. So yeah, we probably will going to work also with the IPFS team to try to make some of the things faster. Yeah, these are the main short-term goals, the MVP in stage 1 and stage 2. Yeah, I have a lot of things for running, of course, for there's a big roadmap for things to implement. Oh, there's a typo. here, this application is already deployed as a very early stage alpha application, so don't expect many functionalities, but you can try it. Expo application on your mobile phone in your Android or iOS. I don't think Windows Phone is supported, but yeah, it works on iOS and Android. If you get the Expo app, you can scan this QR code and it's going to run the application.
You can show it on your mobile.
Yeah, I can, but let's try a new, a brand new one. You can try here as well.
There you go. How you handle this creation?
I know, but you need the Expo app.
Oh yeah, right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we'll do this meanwhile. It will probably take a few minutes.
Okay, I can show you some. Sure.
Just Expo.
Oh yeah, we have one here.
Yeah.
So yeah, you doesn't react.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Only the nations or something.
Modo.
Yeah, I have Murder. You can get Murder.
Yeah. Eric, show the camera.
Can
you see it? Okay. Like here's the overview. See general. I don't know what else can we do.
No, nothing else. Yeah. Yeah.
So is it question time?
I have one more slide, but then you can go to.
Just a second.
Yeah, you're gonna try. Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody is standing the order.
So this is nice because the way it's deployed, every time you we deploy, you can try it or live on this. It's not yet on App Store or Android Store, but at least you can try the application, how it's going. And, yeah, it's one thing work with the nations.
I'll do it. You say nations?
Yeah, nations.
Yeah.
And then you can click on nation.
Join more.
I think it's very early stage and still done that.
Bad reputation.
Bad reputation. Murder has a bad reputation. But you can join. This is voluntary, so.
If you climb holes recently. Does this count as a launch?
Yeah, I love the graphics. So beautiful. They know what they did.
Yeah.
Sure. You like fun?
Yeah.
Not sure if it works on any.
Overlapping something.
Oh, okay. You have to push R. And I think nation is the only thing.
Yeah. So it's in a very early stage, still dummy data there. But and only the nations menu is working from the raw menu.
The colors really work, right?
Hmm?
The colors are good.
Yeah.
And the map behind it.
So this way is also very nice because you can have feedback from users very often. Like after deployment, it's very easy for someone just to point to this kind of QR code. And if you want to, like, you can also, there's this URL. This URL is is with the QR code, so you can just go there and if in QR scan the QR code from there. So yeah, this expo.io at Daniel Franca BitNation. You can just go there, and then there you can also just scan the QR code, and it works from there as well. It's the same QR code. Okay. So yeah, so I see there's a lot of things to do. If you want to contribute, there is a GitHub. That's there no one can read there, but here you can see the GitHub from Pangea React, and also a Trello board. This Trello board has all the roadmap and plans and the tasks that we are doing. There is some tasks with the label beginner. So if you're just starting and just want to get a easy one just to understand the code, it's a nice one to go. Yeah, it's using JavaScript with React and Redux. And yeah, from there you can contribute, you can ask questions, you can like go to both GitHub or Trello and see what's going on and everything that's happening to the code. Yeah, that's it.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Yeah.